Hey guys, it's ANicWin, also known as Amy, and happy Monday. I hope you're having a lovely day. I am just going to warn you, I do have a cough drop in my mouth. I am not sick per se, but talking without one just makes me cough for whatever reason today, right now, this moment. I'm waiting for meds to kick in, so until then we've got a little cough drop tucked away, so if you can hear it clacking against my teeth, and I hope you can't. I really hope you can't. But if you can, that's what it is. It be what it be, guys. But anyway, this is a rental lot in Selvadorada. It's very similar to what you just saw last Monday, but it is a livable space rather than just a club space. But it is on stilts. There is a pond. I'm thinking this is more of a swampy area. As a matter of fact, I don't do it on camera, but I do put like some mosquitoes and things like that into the water. I also placed an alligator. I think it's an alligator. It could be a crocodile. I don't know. I didn't read the description, but in my head I've named him Lyle, and I'm really attached to the little fella. So he is on site. He's living here, I guess. But because this is a rental lot, I didn't go too crazy with the interior as far as customization or making it feel like a residential, because you can't live here. And I think this build would probably look okay in, say, Sulani or something like that, but I don't know if it would necessarily fit in, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously you can place it wherever you would like to, but I was thinking other worlds that it would blend in like naturally, it wouldn't look too out of place, and there's really not an option. So I just kind of ran with that limitation and decided to not include a living room. There's really not one. There is a couch in the bedroom. Actually, I think it's a love seat, and it's that wooden bench one, so it doesn't look super comfy, but it does exist. But the building on the right, the smaller one, that is going to be the bedroom. The one that we're in right now will have the bathroom and the kitchen and like a dining space and like a little bookshelf area, and that's really it. And my thought is, if you're here, you're focused on one of two things. You're either on your honeymoon, in which case you don't really need like a TV, a living space. It's not at the forefront of your mind. Or you're just on a vacation to explore the jungle, dabble with some archaeology, stuff like that. And again, you're not really using the TV. You're going to be out doing things. So I felt comfortable making that choice. But there is space. If you want a TV and like a living room setup, there is space if you just kind of, wiggle some things around. And I think if you get rid of a couple of dining chairs, you can definitely fit in a full-size couch and a TV area if you would like to. I didn't feel like it was necessary. But we're working on the landscaping right now. I decided to make it look a little overgrown. That's mostly because of how the water meets the edge of the lots. And I get why it does that, because that's the border of your buildable space. But I don't like it. It looks really unnatural. So I just kind of covered it. I did use Tool to sink a couple of the vines and stuff, but then I decided I kind of like the idea that maybe they're floating a little bit. I don't know how realistic that would be, but I liked it enough that I left it like that. And then I'm covering, not like in an insane way, but I'm putting a ton of vines and things like that hanging from the building itself, particularly that breezeway. Which is that little bridge connecting the buildings. I've always called it a breezeway, but I know other people call it different things. But I placed some vines and stuff on that and along the walls because it looked a little too brand new, and I wanted it to look more, not used, that feels wrong, but like, it's been there, it's worn, it's been around for a while. So, and I used a mixture of the Selvadorada, that's wrong, the Jungle Adventures, like debug, and then I think I used the Vampire Brambles. I think. We're going to find out together because I can't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure I did. Because I didn't want it all to be lush and green. I wanted it to look like maybe there was some old mixed in with the new. I don't know if you've ever seen like a building covered in ivy or vines or whatever the case may be. You'll notice that there are some dead mixed in with the live. I mean, it's mostly living, but you see that variation. It's not all just like lush and green unless it's brand new or someone's taking really good care of it. I really got on a tangent there. Okay. So I really like the exterior of this house. I'm going to be honest with you all. I've had almost 2 weeks off of building, aside from that lot that you saw on Monday. One, because I was on a vacation, I was out of state, I didn't take my PC with me, and two, I was having so many issues with my GPU and everything else. Well, I think it was my GPU, but really what it boils down to is Windows is not playing nicely with AMD right now, and I was using an in-game overlay to record, and it just was not capturing the footage. It just wasn't capturing the screen. It was doing this really flickering thing. It was doing this, it almost looked like the frame rate was dropping really, really, really low, and then there was visual tearing that I could actually see, and I didn't like that. And then when you looked at the recording, it was worse. So I'm recording with OBS, and it's fine. It's not my preferred method. I prefer the in-game overlay, but it's just not working. Anyway, I've had a little bit of time off from building as frequently as I was, and I was second guessing myself really hard as I was putting this together. But the further I got into it, the more I stuck with it, and I chose my color palette and all of that stuff. I really, really got a feel for it, and I fell in love with it a little bit, I guess. I mean, I adore this space, and it makes me a little sad that we can't live here, like in Selvadorada, because I know exactly what type of sim I would have here. But it's fine, we can dream. But now we're working on the kitchen. You saw the bathroom come together. I really like that bathroom. I don't typically like my bathrooms, but that one felt really simple. It had a nice mixture of modern and rustic, I thought. And then I love that little pop of green on the little life preserver thing. I don't know what those are called. Buoy? It's not a buoy. You know what I'm talking about. I like that little pop of color. I used a lot of vibrant color in this build, and I don't typically do that, I feel. And I just really, really enjoyed it. And I was inspired by the tiles that come with the pack. There's a lot of nice teals and reds and oranges, and I'm not a big fan of that yellowy tone, which is why we don't keep it. But I do like this grayish slate blue with that red. I think that's really, really, really pretty. And I was trying to decide how far I wanted the tiles to go. I decided just this little L bit, because the rest of it was just too much. It was too much for me, at least. But we're working on the kitchen. I did go with that bright blue refrigerator because I love it, I adore it, and I don't get to use it enough. So I saw my opportunity and I took it. And then we're just cluttering up the countertops. Now, because I use those windows from Sulani, it's not Sulani, it's Island Living, I don't have room for cabinets and stuff like that at the top. So I use that little tea shelf from, I believe that came with Snowy Escape. And then I used the shelf that came with Jungle Adventures. And I thought they're not quite the same wood tone, but they work well enough together that I think it looks nice, obviously, because I left it. But I like that it's open. You can see that there are wine glasses, there are plates, there's teacups and things like that. So it kind of looks more like a rental to me in that regard. I keep this area pretty simple. I like this little detail here. I hung that little hand towel on the window, and I like that it matches the blue from the stove, not the stove, the refrigerator, that tea kettle, the rug. I just like that the blue all tied together super, super nicely. And then we move on over here to where the stove is, and I use the one from, I think this came with the Country Kitchen kit, if I do recall. Yeah, because the other one is Cottage Living. I love the stove as well because I like that little shelf up there, even though it's not a slottable space. You can clutter that up and it looks nice, it looks natural, and I did so really simply. There's like a jar of peppers, a little picture of an apple, because why not? Salt and pepper, a plant, and then that pitcher, because again, why not? And then I decided that we really didn't need a ton of like countertops and stuff over here, so I went with a little plant, and then we're gonna pull out a jar and make our own little custom plant because I can. And really that countertop I leave mostly blank just because you need a space to prepare food, and I knew they wouldn't use the corner pieces. And I think I do throw a knife block on there just so it's not completely empty, but that makes sense to me. You'll prepare right by the stove. It works. And then I did use this new table from the little campers kit. I know it's meant for like a kid type deal maybe, but I really liked it in here because it looks rustic, but it looks nice, and it paired really nicely with the Seasons chairs. I was pleasantly surprised. It did spark joy for me. And then this is the corner. So this is where you could put the living room if you wanted to. What I would do, if this is just me, is like I said, I would get rid of 2 of those dining chairs and just move that table a little closer to the stove. You will have to be a little creative with where you would put a couch so as not to block the doors, or you could just swap one of the doors out for a smaller one and it gives you just a little bit more space, but there is plenty of room. I also threw in the little camper's radio because I think it's cute. I can't stop using the items. I think they're adorable. But in my head, this is just where you've come in, say you've been hiking, you hang up your gear, you drop your stuff by the door, your shoes, obviously, and you can just kind of sit down, catch your breath, use the bathroom if you have to, and just kind of relax for a moment before doing whatever it is you plan to do the rest of your day, evening, night, week, month, year, whatever the case may be. So now we're gonna hop into the bedroom, and I really love the way that this room turned out. I used those really soft wood tones, that lighter wood that came with Jungle Adventures, but I still feel like the room is really vibrant. That yellow is really bright, the blues come into play. They're slightly different because none of the blues and greens in this game are the same. But I just love it. I like how it carries through, but it softens in the bedroom. And that's really what I would prefer, especially if you're doing kind of like a monochromatic color scheme type of thing. I think the bedroom should always be soft. That's just a personal preference. But I felt like I achieved that here. And you might see some of the decor, Decor to the Max, I think is the kit name. I did finally buy it. I wasn't going to, but I did. I did it. And I do like it, but I do have some regrets. It be what it be. And then we move on here to this corner. I decided to throw in a love seat. I talked about it briefly already. This is just a little space for your Sims to kind of, canoodle and catch up, get to know each other, set the mood, do what you do in the bedroom. And I wanted this to be a feature corner as well. So lots of plants, lots of decor, and I do actually pull out a different wall decoration just to kind of tie it together a little bit more. But this is the end of the build, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. Thank you for listening to me kind of blubber on. I'm a little out of practice, so I'm getting back in the swing of things. I promise that will get better. As usual, I will be posting the screenshots on Instagram if you want to hop over there and check those out. You can also leave a comment or a like down below letting me know what you think. You can subscribe as well if that would be something that would spark joy for you. I will see you on Monday with my next video, and in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely rest of your week. Bye, guys.
Does she notice the things I notice? How she practices piano on her thigh, imagining the keys inside her mind. Does she notice the things I notice? How her eyes wander the room when it gets quiet, searching for solutions in the silence. But I'm here